Anyway, part two, I'm back because of my phone storage sucking. So, as I was saying, my thoughts are mainly more towards like a societal collapse from whether economical, like, I don't know, nuclear, like, who knows, something like that, some kind of collapse of society. Where we're left with like almost the worst of the worst type of people surviving, for obvious reasons. Um, that's kind of what I am thinking would be more likely to happen than any of the other options, really. Um, and part of what I've done is, like I said, I've collected seeds. So I try to harvest a lot of my own seeds from stuff because if you buy the right things, you only have to buy seeds one time. And if you start your own compost pile with dirt, like 1 to 2, like 1 year or whatever, you could like slowly have your own dirt. You don't have to go buy dirt again after a year or two. Let's say what else. Also along the lines that you know, I've learned what herbs, what flowers, what herbs I need to grow, what they can be used for medicinally specifically, because yes, I take my kids to the doctor, I go to the doctor myself, we get antibiotics if we need them, everything else, but I like to grow things, grind them up, have little labels saying how to use them, what they can be used for, what they help with, negative side effects, everything. I've done my research, and then I can those with the oxygen absorbers and put them in a cool, dry place. So if something does happen in the world, I'm prepared for that. I can be like, okay, well, I can't go out anywhere. I need something for this issue or that issue. I need this and this, something along that lines. Then along the fact as well that I feel like, getting that knowledge, whether you do the research yourself and write it all down, which is a perfectly fine option. I do that, as well as I also have a book of medicinal herbs and, with the pictures and uses and everything else for, as an option to study as well, which is always great, along with a book on, like local and like other species in the outside of my area as well, on like plants and foraging and things, with things coming down to that. So you want to be prepared in that way that you can be self-sufficient in the food area more specifically. So like, yes, we still enjoy some like store-bought things at the moment, but I am always more than prepared and have more than enough to grow things on our own and do that way as well. Another option that I work with is, if like shit hits the fan, so to speak. I love Canadian Prepper. Anyway, you can make your own shower head, pour water in, whatever. I have things like that I've made for that option, but I also bought this little, it's like a 2.5 gallon thing where it holds 2.5 to 3 gallons of water, and you pump it and like the pressure stays, and I guess, and it has it to where it comes out the hose and you do a shower, so like, yeah, you pump it a few times and then use it as a shower, like a little portable survival shower thing. Love it. I'm in love with that thing. I've ordered things like the beeswax to go with my homemade salves. I call it salves, but I guess it's salves, whatever. Anyway, things like that. Also, I have gotten a portable sink. Yes, that you don't necessarily have to have that. You could use a collapsible tub or any tub, really. But I like the idea of having a portable sink, to put the water in the container at the bottom, and then it has like the pump thing, and it feels like it. I just feel like afterwards it'll help you adjust a little bit easier to life for some people. Plus, I just like the idea of having a little sink to be at. But you could just as easily use a tub as well. Just a little less work this way. I also have a little wood stove that I do not currently use. I don't need it at the moment, but I have it because I know that will be something that I need, and I get it out, so I make sure I'm, know how to use it and everything else. I also have one of those heavy duty tents. I'm not talking about a regular camping tent. I'm talking about the like heavy duty canvas material type tents. The stuff that you could literally live in that will last for years if taken care of properly. Just lay a tarp over the top if you have to for no sun damage or whatever. But like it will literally last for years. Now, has a built-in area that is made for putting a wood stove inside of it. So I especially like that, to have that, because you never know, right? Another thing is just like a water bath canner, to be able to can things if it came down to that. But at the same time, you know, I've wanted to learn my own skills and done research for being able to, what if you don't have the jars to do that? Or what if you don't have the extra water to use for that, if it came down to it? So how do you preserve your vegetables without having the canning option? You know, and a lot of it, you know, a lot of people can pickle. Like, you know, if you can't, like, what I talk about is if you can't, like, pressure can. Like, you don't have a way to pressure can with the expensity of that and everything else, and you're worried about botulism. You can pickle your vegetables, create your own brines. And that way, I mean, to a lot of people that may be gross and you may not like that kind of food, but if it came down to it, you know, you could have all your food during the summer, but when it came to winter, you'd starve, or your vegetables would soon go bad no matter how good a condition you kept them in. So knowing how to pickle that stuff, then you could put it in a water bath canner 10 to 25 minutes, and you know, you'll have food throughout the winter, whether it was something you thought tasted good or not. When it comes down to it, food is going to be food. Yes, you want it to taste good, but in the end, if it keeps you alive, that's part of what matters. And then you just know that you just have to do it through the winter, and then once it comes spring, you can have some fresh food again. What is another one? So I've went over some of my plans for next year, my tent, the wood stove, oh yes, I'm very big on like collecting little sticks, little pieces of wood, things I find. I try to store up on those by having them in containers and like their own little shed type of thing, basically. While at the same time I will still buy wood pellets offline, just so that I have that backup. Because if something happens and I run out of wood, or something happens to the stockpile, I do have, you know, there is that backup until I can get more, if that makes sense. Cast iron skillets obviously is the #1 choice, because for people who've never cooked on them before, it may take some getting used to. But they will last if properly taken care of. I've seen 100, 200-year-old cast iron skillets. So very, very, like, the best kind, in my opinion. Also, what else is there? I like to stock up on pretty much everything that you would need. Now, I know that this sounds gross, but there's also always the option, like, I like having toilet paper. I'll get 2-3 big bags at one time, and that will last me and my kids months. So that is not an issue. I don't go buy like 20-30 packages or nothing. But I always like to have alternative options. What happens if there is a societal collapse and I can't get toilet paper? Or at least in my area last year, when there was all the toilet paper being hoarded, I mean, there was no napkins, no paper towels, nothing. Everybody took everything to use as toilet paper. So we literally had nothing. And to be honest, what I had to do was get a little tub of bleach water or cleaner, and I had to get a package of rags, and I'd have them folded up by the toilet. We would use those and then automatically put them in the cleaner bucket with the lid on it. And then at night, I would have to drain those out. Sometimes I use the washer, sometimes I hand wash, just depending on the mess. Sorry. And hang them up to dry overnight. In the morning, they'd be dry. I'd fold them up, put them by the sink again. You know, I'm not saying it was pleasant, but in the end, you do what you gotta do, and you just need to have different options for everything. Again, the winter last year was so bad here that no matter whether I dripped my pipes or not, everything froze for 3 weeks. before my landlord was able to come and fix it. Thank goodness I am prepared. I had water stocked up. I have my little, what I call, not really a decomposing toilet, but like, I don't know, I almost call it my homesteading toilet. You know, you go to the bathroom, it has a section that has water, you put water in, holds like 5 gallons, I think, and you can act like it's actually flushing and everything goes to the bottom, and then you empty out that container every so often, and there you go. So that came in very big handy because of different situations, whether water freezing, whether whatever else, you know, there can be different things that come up that you're going to need your supplies for, and you never know, and it's always good to have those options. What else? I guess that can be it for now. I will do another little video tomorrow, but yeah, I like being prepared every nook and cranny I can. I ran away to the bathroom to have this time. I put stuff up there as well. You can see everywhere. So I will see you guys tomorrow.